What up, YouTube? It's your boy Ghost. I'm coming to you from the house. Today I'm speaking on the permit book for your truck and when you run your authority. Um, I'm dropping this video to give a little insight on, the basic permits that you need inside your permit book. Well, for me, I live in California, so I guess a lot of the permits I have in here are just, California. Um, for California drivers, there's a couple things if you run back east, you need like the KYU and maybe a couple other permits like the New York Hut sticker. But for me, I don't run those areas yet. I probably don't plan on going out that way. So for me, I just, I have the permits, which the areas that I like to run in. So I have, what works for me out here. What I have might not work for somebody that lives on the east or somebody that does something completely different in California or any other state. But this is what I do. This is what keeps me, compliant and able to, peacefully go back and forth on these interstates. So, a permit book is basically a little black folder you can get from Walmart. I would say it's probably about $1 for the folder, and I got the little pockets, the laminate pockets. But basically, within my folder, we'll start with the front one. I have my cab card, which is the registration, which deals with the base plates and everything else. That's number one. Behind that, I have my trailer registration. I don't really like keeping my trailer registration inside the trailer, which I keep a copy in there, but I also keep a copy in here just in case somebody decides to jack that sucker when it say I'm sitting at a truck stop or something. Somebody wants to be funny, so I keep my trailer registration in there. I keep a copy of it behind the registration, and then comes my insurance. I have my little file sleeve for my insurance. It's proof of insurance. Behind that, I have my certificate of my authority to show that it's active and it's good to go. And then I have my IFTA for California. I got that on one page. Well, it's actually 2 pages, so it's front and back. And then I have my Oregon permit. And then right behind that, I have my New Mexico permit. And then I also have my California permit that they sent me. I have a copy of that. And then after that, I have my, what do you call this? I got these little things right here. Behind all that, I have my little pockets, which is like, kind of like note cards, or not note cards, but kind of like baseball card holders, because I like to, pick up, like right now I have my mechanic's, his card in there, and then also have another card I got to put in here. But, as I'm driving certain lanes that I run, I like to pick up, repair cards, towing cards, taxi cards. I like to have that little section just in case if I'm ever in a certain area that I run in, and I run into some trouble, I can basically go in the back of my permit book, and I have my little cards that at any given time I can just call them, be like, hey, I need road service, hey, I need a ride somewhere if I don't have Uber, stuff like that. So I like to keep that back there. And when it comes to mine, it's, real basic. I like to, go through it, make sure everything's up to date. I like to see when stuff expires, so I'll know. Something else that I would suggest is make copies. Like, this permit book is basically my copies. All my master copies I keep in another folder. It's like a big white binder. I keep all my masters in there. At any given time, if something happens and I need a permit and I don't have it inside a permit book, I can, easily make a phone call home, or I can do something to where I can have someone go inside my master permit book and make a copy, either email it to me, fax it to me, do whatever they need to do to get me, my permit. So anytime a permit comes in, I'll have, boss lady or my mom print it out, put it inside the master if they haven't sent the master already. So just in case I like to make sure I have copies of my copies. So this permit book is full of my copies. All my masters I keep basically filed because at any given time something can happen, truck can catch on fire. I don't want all my masters to burn up, so I'd rather have the copies burn up. And it's like I also keep copies of my medical card and my driver's license just in case something happens to where I lose them. Always got a copy of it. So even though you got to keep those masters on you. But yeah, this is basically how my permit book is set up. If I get hazmat or I get any other type of permits, I'll put them in here. But as of right now, I just got the basics just to get me up and down. Something else that I'm waiting on is my MCP, which is my motor carrier permit. I'm going to do another video explaining that because when it came to getting my pre-pass, I had to send in my MCP, but thing is I didn't have the MCP yet. I'm still waiting on it to come in the mail. So that's basically it. I hope this video shines some little light on the permit book and when you're running your authority, the basic permits that you'll need to just be able to activate up and down. And also, because these finally came in, make sure you got your IFTAs. Because those, like I said before, I got to put those on the truck, but they finally came in. And make sure your IFTA stickers match your IFTA permit. Because I remember at Interstate, I think they had given me like Wisconsin. They had given me some IFTA stickers that didn't match my IFTA permit. That was inside my folder. When I went through New Mexico, they gave me a hard time. Even though I went through Washington and went through a level 1, and they didn't care, because they just told me, hey, just fix it later on down the road. It's just a sticker. You have the permit actually in here. But like I said, it depends on the DOT and how they're feeling. So you want to make sure everything matches and everything is completely compliant. Also, if you're leasing a truck or you're doing a lease purchase deal or something like that, make sure you keep a leasing agreement inside your permit book because DOT, they might ask for it. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. But you want to make sure you keep a copy of that. Might not want to keep the master, but keep, a copy. So yeah, it's your boy Ghost. I hope this video helps some folks out. Love, peace, prosperity, and I will holler at y'all in the next video. Deuces.